And welcome back to the We'll Take It From Here podcast. Another week, another episode. However, first, we are going to bring you our show's sponsor, because this episode is brought to you by Honest Supplements. Now, Joe, what's Honest Supplements? Well, let me tell you. In a world that is plagued by new illness outbreak every other day, it's important to keep your body performing at its best with the right vitamins and supplements. However, these products can get expensive, especially with rising prices all around us. Honest Supplements has resolved that problem. They mark up all products by just $1, saving their members an average of 50% per product. Yes, that means that the protein you're paying $60 for is only $30 on their website. They have everything from vitamins, sports supplements, recovery, weight loss, CBD, and so much more. It costs just $10 a month or $99 for the entire year to join the Honest Supplements Club. Timmy and I are both members and can advocate for the amount of money that you will save. And do we also mention that all products are third-party lab tested? Because that's the only true way to prove vitamins and supplements actually contain the ingredients that they claim. Don't wait. Go to Honest Supplements right now to join today and start taking better care of your health. And it's right. If you train jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, or just in the gym, you better be taking Honest Supplements. So go to their website, guys. All right. Now it's time for the show. Folks, so we'll take it from here. Joe and Timmy, show to make you think and entertain you. Episode 172, back for another week. Love you guys. Beautiful art here with the logo helmet and the helmet, and we are in my apartment. So love you guys. Thanks for your support. Episode 172, bro. How you doing?
Good.
It's a nice Saturday morning where it snowed in.
Yeah. Drinking chocolate milk.
I
got hot chocolate. You got chocolate milk.
I legitimately made chocolate milk with Hershey syrup, dude. I was just a kid. I love it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Protein milk. That's what that is. No, it's just sugar milk. Sugar milk.
It's sugar milk.
It's fucking delicious, though.
But it's so good.
It's fucking amazing.
Dude, what's up with the snow? I didn't even know that we had.
I found out last night that we're getting snow, and then I got about like an inch and a half or something. I actually had to clear off my car.
Really? I woke up and just saw that it was raining, and then I saw snow in your car.
Yeah. Bizarre. Springtime in New Jersey. Gotta love it.
Oh, my God.
I love it.
What are we, in April? Dude, I was telling myself, I was like, yo, dude, because I was like, I want to start cutting down a little bit more than what I am already. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. I got maybe like, a couple months until it's May. And I'm like, no, it's May next month.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you got like 28 days.
28 days.
Start the month off with some chocolate milk.
With some chocolate milk, baby. Fuck, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And probably be doing a couple of episodes this week before you hit your Italy trip.
That's what we're trying to do. Yep. We got at least one planned.
We got at least one
planned. We were supposed to do it last week, but I had a stomach bug.
Yeah, what the fuck is, dude? Honestly, I thought when you said what you had, I was like, is this autocorrect for coronavirus? And
no.
It's still getting down. Like,
the neurovirus, if anyone's, I don't know if I had it or not.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
It's like you just don't hold anything down, and like you're good. Whatever. Look it up. I'm not going into details.
So a stomach bug then.
Yeah, but it's not like usually stomach bugs like 5 hours, 12 hours, whatever. You get it all out of your system, then you're done. This is like multiple days.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I wasn't throwing up, thank God. I hate throwing up. Even in college when I would drink and I would drink too much, and I'm like, I need to throw this up. I'm like, nope.
No, dude, I couldn't.
I'll ride the wave. I can't do it.
I couldn't pull the trigger in college. That was too hard.
Yeah. So, but the neurovirus, my understanding, is like inflammation of the gut, of the digestive system.
Oh, so, that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I never got tested, but it was apparently it was contagious, so that's why we waited the week. I didn't want to be around people.
Yeah, no.
I worked the rest of the week from home. Took a day off, which I need to update my timesheet. Oops.
Hey.
I need to do all the shit before I leave anyway.
Love it.
Yeah,
love it, dude. My leg is feeling so much better.
Oh yeah,
so
Mr.
Better, dude.
Mr. I'm still 20 and want to spread.
Yes, sir.
In jeans.
Yes, sir. Barefoot. But it's feeling so much better. I know I'm rubbing it right now, but it just feels. I went to Muay Thai,
nice.
so it was good. Oh, I feel it right here. Damn.
Yeah, work that knot.
Yeah, no, work that not except not on camera. I know, dude. I caught myself doing it when we were last. I was watching our video from last week, and while I was talking about it, I'm like, dude, I shouldn't be like massaging up near my crotch on video. So sorry, folks.
I'm sure no one noticed, but now they're going to be paying attention.
Getting like hot there.
Yeah, right. I was picking my fucking pimple last time too.
Yeah, that was great. Oh, dude, that was
on
perfect.
the video.
No, so we started the video. Or I started the recording when he was mid popping his pimple, and then I was like, "Welcome back," and you were just like, "Dude, what are you doing?"
No, yeah.
You were like, "What are you doing?"
I'm not ready.
I've done that once before with because back in the day, as in 3 years ago. When Dom was on the show, we tested just going into the show with no intro and doing an intro before. So I was like, all right, let's make this as authentic as possible. And I started recording. I didn't tell him. I don't know why. But he was saying something. He was like, oh, dude, like, please tell me next time. Because I was like, you know, going off ranting about like this shit. And I was like, yeah, you're right, dude. I'm sorry. And then I did it to you.
I only saw you click it.
Yeah, no, I gotta flip this over. There we go.
The worst.
Anyway, dude, actually, I want to talk about something.
All right, let's talk about it.
Let's do it. So I was on. And I'm not gonna bring up. This is gonna be on the internet and shit. I'm not gonna bring up like the names of the businesses, but you know, it was, yesterday there was like a pretty, I would say bigger, maybe mid-sized. It wasn't huge billion-dollar company, but a big company with a like someone who's on Instagram was an influencer who, you know, had always put a lot of positive shit out there. And this person's business got in trouble for like, well, you're going to know who I'm talking about, but they were like removing tags and putting tags on. I don't know if you know, on their shirts. That's all go into it. But like they got in trouble for doing that with the FCC. And then yesterday
they were changing the tag. So it's the origin.
Yes, the origin.
Origin of where it was made.
Yes.
Interesting. I don't know what brand that is.
Yeah, it does. It's, you know, I'm sure he has a successful company. He's doing well, but he got like his website's now down. Like if you go to his website, it's down.
What a sleazy move.
And then like when I hit my friend up about this, I was like, yo, because I had stopped following him for a fucking year now. And I was just like, dude, did so-and-so, like, is there something going on? And he's like, well, I know that 2 other people who are friends with him are getting investigated by the feds.
Oh, shit.
For, like, shit they were doing. And I looked it up, and I was like, oh, well, these are all allegations or accusations.
Still early.
Yeah, still early. So, you know, innocent to proven guilty. But it's like, damn. And I'm thinking about stuff. I was like, dude, these people are, from what you can see on their Instagram and from what you know from their business, they're pretty fucking successful people, right? They're always posting all this shit with their family and, like, good, like, moral values, right? And we're not, you know, no one here is and I mean no one here, I don't just mean me and you.
Yeah.
I mean on this earth, right? We've talked about this before. I've, you know, like if we had everything we did, like Andy Frisella said this, it was great. If there was a big thing over your head of all the shit you have ever done in your life, you would feel shame. But then when you saw what everyone else was their shit, you'd be like, oh, okay, I'm not that fucked up, right?
Yeah, I'm on par with everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not just criticizing them, but it's weird how these people preach about having successful business, and they do preach about good morals and all that shit. And now they're like, it's like coming to light, all this shit, right? So my question is, I was thinking about it this morning. I was like, dude, what do you think drives someone who's built their business, you know, presumably off of good moral values, to then and have your Instagram page be about being a tough person, having discipline, doing the right thing, but then in their private life, they're absolute full of shit? What do you think drives that? Do you think it's something from the beginning and they were a scam artist this whole time? Or do you think at some point you get a little bit compromised based off of greed?
No, I think from the beginning. Like, if they're changing tags, from the beginning. I don't think they went cheap now. There's no way. I think it's usually typically narcissist. It's a narcissistic trait, whether they're full narcissists or just some kind of spectrum of it. I think that's what it is. People, if you ever have dealt with an actual narcissist, they're right, they're perfect, they don't do anything wrong, and they'll spin anything that happens in their head to tell their own story so that they're not the bad guy.
Yeah, that is true.
And like this person, they're telling the moral high ground because in their mind they did nothing wrong, they do everything perfect, they know the best, they know morals, they follow the morals, but they don't. They're just full of shit. They don't take honest assessments of what's going on. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it too. Like, yes, I think you have, and it's hard to believe because what I want to say at first is because when you look at the circle of people, first of all, just because you have the circle of people, doesn't mean that everyone is a scumbag in that circle. You could be friends with someone, not know they've done something, and then it comes to light. You're like, holy shit, I didn't know this whole time, right? But so to answer your question, at first I'm thinking, oh no, maybe they started off good.
Yeah.
With good intentions, because you would look at their page and sure they would show off, but who cares? You're showing off. Who cares? You've been successful. Show off, right? Show what you got. Flex a little bit to a certain extent, but then you start to see like what they're doing to get there, and it's like, is it because they've been cheating this whole time? Like, I don't want to believe that, but no, I think you're right, because if you're switching tags like that, that's
sleazy.
That's not very sleazy.
That's not like, hey, like I pay my workers next to nothing. That's I'm cheating the system and lying for my product. That didn't happen overnight. They didn't he just happened to get caught now.
Yeah,
like, they just happened to get caught. I'm not going to misgender them.
No, it is a him, but
But yeah, so like that definitely didn't happen overnight, and maybe it didn't happen from the start. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't have proof, but that kind of action to me shows that that's not a last minute, I got to do this to make extra money. That is, I'm a sleazeball. I've always been doing sleazy stuff and try to hide it.
Yeah.
That is, I'm trying to show one thing and actually I'm another thing.
Yeah. And you know what I also think about that? I also just think that we know this too. What social media tends to do is you get drawn to someone, right? Because of their moral values may go with yours, or their mindset may go with yours. So when they say something, it's okay to value what they say and take it to heart and take their advice if you want, right? But at the same time, what we tend to do is we tend to be like, oh yeah, this person's got it, like and like I want to follow in their footsteps, but it's like, nah, dude, like you can't do that, because now when it comes to light, you start to realize that they've been a little bit sketchy this whole time. Yeah, they're not as good as they claim to be, or maybe as disciplined or successful or as moral as they claim to be, and that's why it's dangerous to just follow. Right.
Yeah. Well, what did you just say? Don't follow false prophets. It's that exact thing.
Yeah.
Those are all false prophets. Like whether they think they're a prophet or not, they're pretending to be something that they're not.
Yeah.
So basically, don't put blind faith in anyone.
And that's why I like too with this show, bro. Like, let's get me wrong. Like, dude, I like to talk, right?
Yeah.
Right. I like to talk, and I like to think.
That's why I'm on the show, because I do too.
Yeah. And I'll be straight up honest. Like, yes, there are.
At least we hope.
No. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll be honest. Like, sometimes when I do solos or duos, or sometimes when I want to think about something or say, like last week's episode, I wanted to do last week's episode about controlling your thoughts. Yeah. Because I want to help somebody, right? But just because I'm saying it doesn't, like, I'm not saying I know it all. I just know what's right for me in my reality and based off my experience for me. Take it if you want, don't take it. But I'm not trying to like manipulate anyone. But at the same time, I'm trying to give something that I've experienced or I see others experience, and maybe it could help you. Obviously, that's why I'm doing the show. I would like to give advice to people, but doesn't mean that you have to take it, right?
Yeah.
But also too, like, that's why I love when we have guests, because the conversations are so genuine that their story, they're not trying to help anyone, but their story may resonate with someone, and it will help them. That's authentic. Because it's like, dude, you do all these things like on Instagram, bro. It's like, great, yeah. Discipline is awesome. Being disciplined is great. That's what's going to help you succeed. Hard work is great. There's nothing wrong with it, okay? Being able to endure is great. Being at, like, all this shit, adversity, this, that. But all these people say the same fucking thing. And it's like, dude, we get it. Like if hard work, based off what they're saying, is the be all end all, then stop preaching about it.
Yeah.
Just fucking do it, because it's something that we got to do. Like, who cares? But like, they always say the same thing, and then it comes out that now, granted, I'm not saying they never worked hard.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that to build the business at some point, they took the leap of faith. They had the balls to do it, right?
Yeah.
And they took a risk, so to speak. They had faith. They manifested it.
Yeah.
They had faith, whether they were conscious or not, that they were going to be successful. They were successful, but they did it in a sleazy way.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, you lied to get to where you needed to be.
Yeah.
Get to where you wanted to be, or where you got, whatever.
And
it's a lie.
It's a lie. But then, like, people have eaten into it this entire time. They've bought into your product. They bought into your mission, which, hey, maybe your mission was a good mission, but now it's like...
And false pretenses.
And false pretenses. So it's like, what do? Do you still take that message as like... Because you can still take the message as true. Like, oh, okay, well, what he said was true and it resonates with me here. You don't have to completely abandon it, but it's like, be careful who you follow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Don't blindly follow anyone, and don't follow someone as if they're God, or they're the end all be all, no matter who they are.
Yeah.
No matter who they are. And don't do that with your own thoughts. Don't think that you're the end all be all. Don't think that you're the smartest person in the room ever. Even if you are. Even if you're the smartest person in the room, you can learn shit from other people.
No, you're always learning, for sure.
So it's arrogance. That's all it is arrogance. Mm-hmm. It drives me nuts. It drives me fucking nuts. This is kind of a sidebar, but related to this. Did you listen to Dave Smith and what's the fucking guy's name? It was just a debate on Rogan.
Oh man, is this the one? I didn't listen to it.
I'm finishing up. The guy drives me fucking nuts. He's being extremely Douglas Murray. He's just arrogant with his point of view. And granted, listen, everyone should be confident with their point of view. If you have if you're confident with your point of view, there's nothing wrong with being confident with it. That's not the same thing as arrogance. There's a lot of overlap with those two words. And you can be confident and arrogant, or you can be just arrogant and not really that confident, which doesn't really work too often. But his whole argument was just being extremely arrogant. I know everything. I'm the most important person. My point is the only one that matters. I'm not wrong. There's no way I can be wrong. And you can't go into life in any conversation like that. You don't know everything. You don't have all the facts. So the fact that if you're going to come in here and have a conversation like that, it's extremely disingenuous. So people that change tags, or people thinking that I'm the best and I need to be the best no matter what, and I have to, like this, I don't care what I'm going to do. I'm going to get to where I want to be. So this is where I'm going to make sure that for my point of view, because yes, but the no matter what is the important words here, because based off of how I'm talking about mindset with the thoughts, I actually think there's no problem in telling yourself you're the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, as long as you won't do, as long as no matter what doesn't hurt, doesn't lie or hurt anyone mentally or physically, right? Because think about it. If your autopilot thought is, I'm not the best, I'm not good, I'm not, like, that's not better. Yeah. That's like horrible. There's no I hate that, that's like a false pretense of being humble. Yeah. It's not. Like, there's nothing wrong with that's anti-ego.
Yeah, anti-ego, exactly. But there's
still, which to me is
it's still the ego.
It's still ego.
No, it's the ego.
Yeah.
It's the ego. It's the ego telling you. It's basically just the ego telling you what you've been telling it this whole time, and it's just reflecting back to you. That's my understanding of it. But what I'm saying is, there's nothing wrong when you're going to do something to achieve a goal. There's absolutely, even if it's not true at the time, to be like, no, just in your head. You don't have to fucking boast about it. In your head, just be like, no, I'm the best. I'm the best. Even if it's not showing it right at that moment, I'm the best. But when you start doing, okay, well, to be the best, now I have to lie. Let me lie and manipulate here because it's going to help me make that sale. Okay, yeah, I'm the best. No, now we're having a problem.
You're not the best, though.
Yeah.
You're not the best.
No, but I'm saying now we're having a problem there. So as long as you can keep it like, hey, let me do the right thing. Let me work to what I want to do. This is my goal. I'm the best. Keep it. Let's say like you hit a roadblock. Instead of being like, fuck, see, I can't do this. This sucks. This is not made for me. No. Hey, man, this is what I learned from this. I'm still the best. Let's keep moving forward. There's where I just want to flip it, because it's doing whatever, like greed. What's your idea of greed? A lot of people will say greed is, anyone who wants money. At least to me, wrong. Doing whatever it will take to get money in a way of like
Putting yourself above others.
stealing, robbing, fraud.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're getting greedy.
Yeah. Greedy is putting yourself above others no matter what.
Yeah, so that's so like that. So
But yeah, so like with the whole greed thing, right? Like the whole capitalism argument, right? Is well, greed, blah blah blah. Well, there's greed no matter what structure you use. But going out and making money is not wrong. There's nothing wrong with making a living. There's nothing wrong providing a service to people.
Yeah, there's nothing.
You know, if something you made provided a service for every single person in the world, why are you not deserved to be one of the richest people in the world? You're helping every single person in the world. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, if you were the only person that could provide that service and you said, okay, I could only charge $2 and I make $1 profit, that's 50% or whatever, 100% profit, however the math works, I don't know. Or I can say, well, I'm the only one that has this, so fuck everyone. I'm not going to charge $2. I'm going to charge $20. So you're making tenfold of that because you control the market, but it doesn't make a difference. Now that became greedy. When you're charging $2 to make a small profit off it, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and it's also like if you're being honest to what you think your value is, right? Because a lot of people will say when they're trying to fucking price themselves, right, and by like price their services. If you're being honest with what you think the value you can provide, if you're confident in the value you provide based off of, and you can show that the results, that don't underprice yourself, but price yourself accordingly, right?
Yeah.
And let the market. So that's the thing about capitalism. People think we're in a capitalistic society right now. No, we're not. We're in a crony capitalistic society, corporatism, in which you're starting to almost have monopolies, like Amazon. Yeah, great. Did I just order the lights that we're going to have for the future episodes from Amazon? Yes, I did, because the ease of it, right?
Yeah.
But
that right there is why the ease.
Exactly. And also when they become the monopoly, when they are able to outprice mom and pop, when they're able to maybe make their own product and then sell it, and then when they basically have buddy, hey, like the government comes in and says, hey, push this ideology or don't push this product or push this product more. Now we're starting to get to a fucking problem. Like maybe not so much as Amazon, but Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, censor this. No, censor this. The FBI comes in. No, you got to censor this. Now we're not capitalism anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's a whole different fucking argument.
No, it's a whole different argument. But I'm just saying, like, people think capitalism is greed. People and they'll try to point to what America's doing right now. Wrong. We are not a pure.
They also say we're a
society.
democracy. We're not. We're a republic.
Exactly.
A democratic republic.
It's a democratic republic, or it's a republic. So essentially, the difference is people always say democracy. Democracy is literally we don't have Congress, we don't have representatives.
Everyone's vote matters.
Everyone's vote matters, and it didn't matter as opposed to a republic in which we vote for said person to represent us, and then that's the republic. But we also know that that's all corrupt. So That being said, different day, different argument for a different day. But yeah, we're really like a corporatism.
Yeah.
Crony capitalist.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason why that is because all the corporations have the power and entity of an individual, but also have the protection of the corporation. So they have this weird superpower that they can be both at the same time, but neither.
Yeah.
And they get perks. They also pay lobbyists, blah, blah, blah.
Pay lobbyists, all that shit. No.
I don't want to go into much more into this.
No, let's not go into that.
Go back to the
but that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Now going back to the original topic. Yeah, man, like people, I don't know, it's just weird. Like you really got to watch, or you just got to like not really buy into 100%.
Take everything with a grain of salt.
Right? Exactly. Even what we're saying right now, take it with a grain of salt.
Exactly. You don't know the motivation that would brought me to say the things I said. You don't know why. Mm-hmm. I could be completely getting screwed over in life right now and say fuck everyone, and then I'm just trying to blow it up and say most ridiculous comment, whatever. Or I can be honestly trying to be on the best path forward and be genuine, and there's no way for anyone to know what I'm actually saying. Yeah, I could be full of shit. I can be a complete crazy person, making up stories in my head. No one knows anything,
dude. Yeah, and another thing too, like
I'm not a crazy person in my head. I just want to verify, clarify.
Obviously,
I've been clinically tested.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
No, but it's like take everything with a grain of salt, because let's just say that someone can prove to you that what their thing worked, and okay, maybe that's a good way to do something to obtain the result you want, but it's not the only way.
Yeah.
Like you said, their experiences have led them, their beliefs have led them to go a certain way to get that. It's not the only fucking way. It might be a very good way, but it's not the only way.
So I have a perfect example. You know Dave Ramsey, the financial guy?
No.
You know who Dave Ramsey is? Oh my God. Everyone go look at Dave Ramsey.
I'm looking right now.
He's a huge, big, popular guy on YouTube for financial, not financial motivation, but financial advice. His whole method is...
This dude right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got some great stuff. But his whole thing is pay off all your debts, zero debt on the house, don't invest in the 401k, don't invest in anything until you're debt free. And then from there, dump all your money into investments.
Okay.
Whatever. He's got 10 steps, go through them all, but that's top level basically. Get debt free and then you truly are free. But not everyone believes that. Some people believe that you should be getting contributing to 401k and paying off your debt. And if right now, I have a student loan, it's 3%. I have no rush to pay that off because typically speaking, inflation is 3% typically. It hasn't been over the last 6 years. So even more so not. But his method is, it doesn't matter what rate it is. You have debt, pay it off. So, there's different aspects and philosophies in financial advice.
Yeah.
So that right there, he believes his story of everything he got to is that is the best way to do it. And if anyone, I have rental property, he believes that that's not smart. You should be able to pay for the properties outright in cash.
Yeah, if you have the fucking goddamn cash on hand, bro.
Yeah.
And some people do, because they've gotten there to that place. But
or you shouldn't. I don't know exactly his wording, but you should be able to pay for the down payment in cash or what. Basically, rental properties don't make sense unless you're paid all debt free to begin with.
Yeah, okay. I have no problem with being debt free. Let's find a way that we, have more. Prices aren't insanely inflated, so we, they make it almost, impossible not to use a fucking credit card.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But here's the thing, to go on to that. That's why I love when I'm in a sales call, and people like you said, it's different strategies, man. Yeah. So what I tell all the time is if someone's like, no, it's all good, man. I do my stuff in real estate. I don't argue them. Yeah. I go, great. Yeah. I go, that's awesome. That's very smart.
Yeah.
You ever looked into diversifying? And that's, even if they don't do it, they go, well, it's not a bad idea. I go, yeah, it's not a bad idea. I never heard someone say I never heard someone complain that they have too much money.
Yeah.
Why not having and so I was like, you don't have to dump everything into this retirement plan. Yeah. Why don't you just have a nice little nest egg? So when grows with the market.
Less stress.
You have your freaking passive income with your rental, and then you have your cash. Diversify. Yeah. And it starts to get, even if they're not going to buy into it, whatever, it starts to get their shit moving. Because, I hate. You go on the stupid, Instagram, you'll have your finance bros, and you have your real estate bros. And everyone thinks it's you fucking financial plan, and you can't touch that money. Yeah. Or then you're like, oh, well, it's not, it's very illiquid to have assets, because if you need the money, it's not as easy to sell. It's y'all have great points.
Yeah.
Why not diversify? I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Dude, I had a guy tell me, this is a great one. This happened last week. Got on the phone, fucking blue collar shit.
Yeah.
And I started going to retirement. He goes, man, fuck that. This is literally this I said.
Yeah.
I ain't no way with a 401k. And I was like, oh, how come? Right? And he's like, that shit's a scam. Right? I was like, all right. I'm like, all right, whatever. He's like, yeah, scam, man. You never give your money away. You can't touch that shit. I'm like, oh, well, you know what, dude? That's your belief. I was like, it's not a scam. You're just putting some money aside, having it grow, right? Mm-hmm. Exponential growth. It's a nice little nest egg, and the money grows and works for you, right? He goes, anytime you give your money away, it's not your money. And I was like, he's like, you give your mama money? I go, yeah, I do. He goes, well, I don't even give my mama money. So you do and I don't. I go, all right, well, why not? He goes, because whenever you give your money away, it's not yours. I go, great. You pay taxes? He goes, yeah. I go, great. Well, if you don't pay taxes, the government comes and arrests you. So you're giving your money away. And he started to shut up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But he was still standing to his point. And a lot of people told me that what I should have said is, you have a fucking bank account?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do, because I could see it on your platform.
Yeah.
So you're giving money to your bank. Like, these people, they don't think. They just hear scam. They hear 401k. You put your money away. You can't touch it. It's like, motherfucker, if you really needed to liquidate it, you can liquidate it. You get slapped with a penalty.
Yeah.
All right, it's not smart, but it's your money, dude.
Yeah.
What are we doing? So all these people with this cash on hand, it's great. Having cash is great, but it's not worth as much with the inflation.
Yeah.
So diversify. Have some in there that's working to beat the inflation. Have some cash so you have liquidity that you can purchase assets with. Have assets that will then produce more cash. That's why businesses are great.
Yeah.
Because businesses are an asset that's producing more cash.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I know another guy who was like, dude, I'm not dumping any money into 401k. I'd rather, I love when they say X, they use the X, right? But it's like an entrepreneurial thing. I'd rather just grow this thing so I can grow my business 10X. I'm like, yeah, all right. Like, this makes sense, dude. Like,
yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but why not just diversify? He's like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I was like, all right, bro. See you.
Okay.
But some people
but you would rather, but you're not growing your business 10X.
Yeah.
You're not doing it.
Yeah. Well,
If you were going to do it, you would have done it by now.
Well, exactly. But look, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe he fucking makes a 20X. Who cares? Like, that's awesome.
My point is,
diversify.
though, well, I would just put it into this instead. It's like, but you're not doing it.
Yeah.
You're not doing it. So this is the whole thing of like, well, if you did it this way, then you could do this. And then if you could do that, and then it's like, you're doing a whole bunch of what ifs.
Yeah.
I could do that, but I'm not. If I, like, that's why people say don't, like, I have a friend of mine who, he's like, don't do real estate. If you just put in like index funds and stuff, it'll grow the 10X. It's like, yes, but that means I have to put all that. It's the same money I'm putting away in either direction. The thing is if I did it into like an index fund, I don't have to make that payment every day. So
Yeah.
maybe there's 1 month where I'm like, you know what, I'm going to put it in this way, and I change it, and it's not in that market, or the market doesn't grow that way.
Yeah.
Where the real estate, I still have a piece of property. So there's no right or wrong answer. But if you're giving me the what if game, it's not a guarantee.
No.
It's not a guarantee.
No.
Just because I like you're spending X money on here doesn't mean that if you stop doing there, all of it's going to Y. It could go to X, Y, and Z. So the what if game drives me nuts.
No, but it was like the point is, yeah, the what if game, whatever. Fuck the what if game. Like, there could be a billion scenarios.
Yeah.
But I think it was like everyone, even this guy, right, Dave Ramsey.
Yeah.
Everyone's got, it's probably right.
Yeah.
In some area, right? They're not wrong completely. They're not completely right.
Yeah.
It's like,
Doesn't always make sense.
no, it doesn't. That's why I laugh. I laugh when like you see like the things, like I'm like laughing at myself. I'm like, dude, who gives a fuck?
So Dave Ramsey, I don't know the full story on it, but he did a study on his whole thing is the U.S. largest study for millionaires on how they got there, and most people, they drive older cars, they don't get brand new cars nonstop. They paid off their debt, they're debt free, blah blah blah. He goes in the whole thing explaining it, but his whole thing is like it's his experience plus they've studied it too. So it's not like he's not making like what's the fucking guy's name? Cardone?
Yeah, Grant Cardone.
Yeah,
Grant Cardone's insanely successful in real estate.
The dude's a scam artist.
What makes you
The dude's a scam artist. I met him. I was on the show with him. He's a complete scam artist. Yeah, I was on a TV show with him.
Hold on. We are backing up. I need to hear this story.
Okay, the show is called Turnaround King. And it lasted like 5 episodes. And I was at Gold's Gym. I think I signed up that day. And then they happened to walk in and they were filming. And on the show, it's reality TV, so it's all fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
I signed up. It was like $20 a month, no money down, no contract. In there, they said I paid like $800 for a sign-up fee with a guarantee of like 3 years, and I was paying like $80 a month. I'm like, this is full of shit. But if you look at CoffeeZilla, I think has a couple things on him. That's the guy that goes in depth for all the scams and coin scams and whatnot. Like he has a whole like what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you can pay for his subscription for the financial advice, and it's all fucking smoke and mirror shit. It's all bullshit. A lot of his real estate deals is a lot of bullshit too.
What?
Yeah,
I gotta look this up.
The dude's full of shit. He's another one of those people that he has a loud personality and he tells you all this shit. If you listen to actually half of those things he says, it's like, it's the typical shit people say. Dude's a fucking asshole. No, he's a clown.
So here's the thing.
He's a fucking clown.
I don't know enough to either agree or disagree. Yeah. Right? What you're saying is completely. You met him. I didn't, right? Let's play some devil's advocate. Do you think that some of these people who are writing these pieces on him maybe could be some people who are jealous, or?
Of course. But I mean, facts. He's. If he was really that good, he wouldn't be going around telling all these people and putting on conferences, charging he charges like $10,000 for certain packages at his. If he was that successful, he's not charging people $10,000.
Here's the devil's advocate.
That's the scam artist.
Yeah, but here's the advocate to that. And maybe this is just what people say to scam. I'm not sure, because I'm not paying $10,000 I'm not doing that. Right?
If you're making millions and millions of dollars in real estate, you don't care about $10,000.
No, for sure. But here's the thing. Here's the one thing I will say to that. And look, like I said, what you could be saying is completely true. But the one thing that I've heard is when you are at that level where your business is worth that much, right? You're always working to a certain extent. So this is how going back to how people price, right?
Yeah.
When people take time out of their day, which those types of people are pouring into their business, you can sort of quantify how much an hour how much you basically make an hour. And then that's what they do. They say, okay, well, if I'm taking this time to do your thing, right, that's why I'm going to charge you. And then you're like, holy fucking shit, that's a stupid price. I ain't paying $50,000 to have this person come on my show. But it's like, yeah, but that person's making $50,000 in the time because their business is worth billions of dollars. Now, that being said, doesn't mean you have to charge it. That's just...
Sorry, I think it's the same thing as the person with swapping the tags. They're just pretending that they make that much money in that time.
Damn.
I think he's full of smoke and mirrors. I think he's full of shit.
Can you send me, is it just easy for me to Google search the CoffeeZilla? Is this an easy Google search?
Right now.
No, because you don't have to send me shit. I'll just Google it.
Grant Cardone.
Damn, bro.
I can't fucking type. Grant Cardone is suing the Cedars, CoffeeZilla. He's got a couple of them. There's one from last year, one from 4 years ago. Yeah.
I want to do my research on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, what I like about CoffeeZilla, like, he's obviously he has a bias, but what he presents, here's all the facts that I found. Mm-hmm. It's, it's not, well, he did this and here's the evidence of the shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Grant Cardone's a scam artist. I think he's full of shit. That doesn't mean he hasn't made money. Clearly he's made money. He has money. I just think he's full of shit.
So okay, that's fine. So just to clarify, what you think is obviously there's a portion to his business that you think he did honestly.
It's the same thing as this person.
To start.
I don't like the words honest.
Okay.
It's the same person making the T-shirt company and swapping tags.
Okay. Yeah. That's not honest. That's definitely not honest.
Yeah, he made money selling T-shirts, but he was doing it in same with this guy.
Right,
like,
okay.
I'm sure he had some honest deals, but I think he's full of shit.
All right. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna look into this now, bro.
I tried finding the TV show. I found it years ago, but it's off. They pulled it offline.
No shit.
Yeah, I got it.
It was his TV show?
It was on National Geographic. Yeah.
How the fuck did you even get on that?
I happened to walk in to sign up today because my buddy was like, this was at Gold's Gym in Whippany. It's not a Gold's Gym anymore. They were trying to charge the same price. People are stupid.
Is this right by the Whippany Diner?
It's right by. It's 287. It's in the back.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's like a Jewish center that's connected to.
Okay.
But they were trying to price themselves with Planet Fitness. And my buddy was going there. And he's like, yeah, this is the price. I'm like, oh, this is fucking great. So I signed up. And then, so they happened to be filming as I walked in. Like, do you want to be on TV? I'm like, sure, fuck it. Why not? So it was fun. Yeah,
damn.
It was a fun experience.
So basically, the $20 a month that you were paying for the fee, but they made it seem like
I just played a flat rate. I may have been paying $40 a month at that point.
But the show was trying to make it.
I was paying $80 a month with the sign up fee of like $400 or $800, whatever it was, and then I guaranteed that for like 2 years or something like that.
What was the point of them saying that?
to make it sound like they sold a better deal than they actually did.
Oh,
but that's the whole point.
Hold on a second. So they were saying that you were paying previously at another
No.
gym.
They're saying the deal they closed with me
Yes.
was a sign-up fee of X amount
Yes.
with a monthly price of X, and I guaranteed for X amount of years. Realistically, it was I think it was $40 a month for no sign-up fee and no contract.
So why were they trying to make them seem like you signed up? Like, why were they trying to make
This
it
is
seem
my
like
point.
the price
It's the same thing with swapping tags.
Yeah. No.
They're trying to make themselves seem something that they're not.
They're trying to make themselves seem a more prestigious gym because they charge a higher price.
He sold better than he actually did. And that right there is what I'm talking about with Grant Cardone. He's full of shit.
Damn.
Granted, it's a reality TV, but like that's a small. All they had to say was we pulled a deal. We increased the rate. We doubled the rate of the money they were coming in with this deal.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
They could have made it sound phenomenal without having to lie. But then, of course, he's got to make it sound amazing.
Yeah, because reality too.
Granted, it's reality TV, so all that's. But still, it's like that right there. You put hard facts in place and lied.
Fuck, dude. I got to start looking into all this shit.
Yeah, Grant Cardone's a scammer. So all of them, anyone that's that loud and boisterous is some form of a fraud.
Everyone or most?
That's fair. I would say, this is what I would say. Anyone that is that loud and boisterous, is not being, is in some way or another being disingenuous or being a scam or a scumbag or some version of not, like Joe Rogan doesn't go around being boisterous. He has this podcast. He does advertisements on it. He does not put ads out for his show. He may put sponsors, put a shirt on like jiu-jitsu rash guards and stuff every once in a while, but he hasn't done a single advertisement for it. He's not boisterous. Like all right, here's another example. Cam Hanes. He quit his job, but he was working full time after he already had the Joe Rogan effect.
Oh yeah,
for 10 years.
Dude, he still works full time.
No, he's retired now from that. Yeah.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, he does his own podcast and stuff. Yeah.
Shit.
But my point is that dude was fucking going after it, and he doesn't give a fuck about the fame. He doesn't care about any of that. He's not boisterous. Now he has his own show, and he's going into that method. But he's not. Hey, look at me. Hey, look at me.
Yeah.
You know, David Goggins. Yeah, but he's not like, hey, look at me. It's like, get after it, bitch.
Yeah, and dude, know? I've read Cam Hanes' book, dude, and I've like looked and like I follow him on Instagram, and I compare what he wrote in his book and his words to his actions. It's like, yeah, dude, like I didn't know he retired, so good for him.
I think it was like 3 years ago.
That's awesome. Yeah. Good for him. He was telling about how he would run 20 miles in the morning before going to a fucking just his day job. Hey, dude, he was doing all the practicing with the bow, and I don't know the guy, right?
Yeah.
He comes off as a very cool, genuine dude.
Yeah.
I would love to meet Cam Hanes.
Yeah. But that's my point is there's that kind of person, and then there's Dan Crenshaw, who goes around yelling at he hates David Goggins for some reason. Why are you commenting on David Goggins? Like, okay, you don't like him, but why is now that you're fucking throne you're dying on?
Yeah.
Hill you're dying on.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Dude, the one thing that
those are two ends of the spectrum. Now, granted, I'm sure Goggins has some aspect of stuff that he's like trying to pursue, and he's. I'm not saying he's not boisterous, but he's not that like, hey, look at me kind of person. Not like a Dan Bilzerian.
Yeah, Dan Bilzerian is, I think, he was born into a billionaire family, right?
Yeah, he's got some. Yeah, but my whole point is that guy is like he got caught paying girls to hang out with him and post it on Instagram.
Dude, really?
Yeah, he got caught multiple times doing
but that
shit.
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, but my point is he's paying girls so he can post pictures around hundreds of girls on Instagram.
Yeah, but hold on though. Here, look. That doesn't surprise me as much as even though he got like Liver King, right? Liver King, always natural. Dude, that motherfucker wasn't natural. I mean, we all knew he wasn't natural.
That dude was blown up like a helium balloon.
For sure. But here's the thing though that I'll say about that. This is just a little sidetrack. Just because someone's on roids, doesn't mean you automatically look like that. That's still discipline. That's still working out. That's still eating in a way. You're just using steroids. So honestly, what would have been better for Liver King, but it wouldn't have been. It would have been. It would have tarnished the idea of eating liver all the time. Yeah. But if he was just like, "Hey guys, I eat liver all the time. I'm very disciplined. This is my workout. Yes, the liver helps for this scientific reason, but I'm on roids. Like, if he had just said that from the beginning,
or just don't comment that you're on roids or not. If someone asks you, just pull the WWE, is this real or not?
Is this real? Yeah.
It's WWE. Like, The Rock never talks about doing steroids, but he clearly is on it. But he never. I don't think he denies it,
dude. You know, it's actually a genius thing for as fucked up as Vince McMahon is with all this shit. You know what the genius thing that like Vince McMahon did onto that part? They used to be called wrestlers.
Yeah.
Then Vince was like, no, they're not wrestlers anymore.
Yeah.
They're superstars.
Yeah.
Because it's like, because if you think about it, once everyone knows that WWE, now the only thing that's fake about WWE is the outcome.
It's the storyline. It's the storyline. Yeah.
Those guys, and you're not actually fucking kicking or hitting hard, right? Like,
well, let's rephrase that. You're not kicking like it's an actual fight.
Yes. There are. You're still getting hit, but they're really good at making it, and the camera's perfect the way to make it look like it was harder than it was. Those, when you're slamming, when you're jumping off the turnbuckle, jumping off, that's all real, and that could fucking hurt you severely.
Yeah, a lot of those people are really fucked up.
Yeah, so let's put that there. But they used to call them wrestlers.
Yeah.
And one time there was a story I was watching on YouTube. One of the announcers called a wrestler, and like Vince is always in the earpiece.
Yeah.
Right? This guy was psychotic. But he would be like, they're not fucking wrestlers, they're superstars. And the reason he's doing that is for you can't say like actual wrestlers, like collegiate Olympian wrestlers. You can't compare them to them now. Oh, these guys aren't wrestlers. Oh, well, we are not wrestlers. The WWE doesn't say they're wrestlers. They're superstars.
Yeah, words matter.
Words matter.
Yeah.
Dude, that's wild. Man, fuck it. Dude, I did not know that this was, I mean, like, I knew that this is what we were going to talk about because this is what I wanted to talk about. But it's cool how I didn't like.
You know, I was on TV now.
Yeah, I didn't know you were on TV. I didn't know you met Dan Cardone. I didn't know any of that.
Grant Cardone, yeah. That.
Oh, Grant Cardone. What the fuck am I calling him? Dan Bilzerian, Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone. Damn, I gotta look this up now.
Yeah. It was funny. But on that topic, right? So that business was struggling. They're a gym. They were a Gold's gym. Mm-hmm. And the location was kind of shitty. If you know where it is, it's kind of shitty. But like as a gym, you don't need to have a storefront property. You just need to have a good business model. And I see so many companies I don't understand this. You can be successful and have a very successful business, and you be a terrible business person. Terrible.
Oh yeah.
And you don't even have to provide a good service either. You can be you could be shitty at the job too, and somehow still be successful. I don't get it. And these people that are like really good at their job and try their best to be the best at business and then fail flat in the face.
Yeah, it's mindset, dude. No. It's mindset. It's what we were talking about last. No, I swear to God, it's what we were talking about last week. You can do
because those people the genuine people are too self-conscious about it.
Yes, they're too self-conscious about it. They're what if this, what if that, or it's always look the champions. I'm winning. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win. One failure is going to bring me to the win that I want.
Yeah.
Whereas the losers go, and like I don't mean loser in like a pejorative way. Like I'm not calling you're a fucking loser, but it's like no, the loser mentality is what if I fail? Yeah. And like, dude, we've all been there.
Yeah,
we've all been there. You got to change it. That's what it is. That's what it is. But
you're right. No, as you're saying that, it makes sense because that other person who's almost ignorant to the fact that they're bad at business and bad at providing a good service, they don't fucking care. They're just like, I'm gonna get the job done. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, and dude, they come in with the overconfident, arrogant personality.
100%.
That's what it is,
dude. 100%. Like, wow. I'll give you an example. Yesterday I closed a deal. Right, it was good. The woman was such a sweetheart. A good conversation. Business owner, just herself, right? And normally, like in my line of work, it's a transactional, right, business where that the deal can close the first call.
Yeah,
it literally could the deal. You could establish it and close it, and they want it, right? Perfect. It could be that fast. Is it always that fast? No, but there were other people that were closing a lot of one calls, and I've done them, but they were closing. It's called a one call close, and my mindset switched for a good amount of time, like back. In the fall, I was like, "Oh, it's possible, but damn, man, like, why can't I one close? Why can't I?" Whereas opposed to yesterday, I was like, "No." I literally went into the day. I was like, "All right, let's just chill. Let's have conversations. Let's date. Let's have conversations. Let's not try to make a sale." But I was like, "No, but I'm making a sale today. Like, it has to happen some way or another. Like, it has to, right?" Had some good conversations. I was being chill. I was about to leave, and I was like, "No, let's stay a little bit more." I got a phone call. First time talking to the lady. She was like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Yeah.
Explained it. She goes, I have this. I go, okay, that's good. You know, you can do this, and that. She goes, awesome. Started, I threw out the price. Price is the price, bro. Right? She was like, cool, let's do it. I was like, awesome. Boom, 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 boom. We do it. She signs. I'm like walking her through, thanked her, have a nice day. And I thought to myself, I'm like, dude, it's just a mindset.
Yeah.
Like I walked in today knowing I was going to do something. I was going to close it. I didn't overthink it. I didn't make it complicated.
Yeah.
I didn't worry about if it was going to be one close or not. It just happened naturally. And it's like my one friend, Mark, Mark was like, it's starting to click.
Yeah.
Right. See, he's like, see what we're telling you is starting to click. And I was like, you're right. It's starting to click. Like, it's mindset, dude.
Yeah. Well,
it's mindset and put like I didn't go in the day being like it's impossible to one call. It's impossible to do this.
Yeah.
You can't build value in a call. It's like, no, I had a conversation. I was listening to her. She was explaining to me the situation. I did the diagnosis and I said, this is what we can do. And she said, yes. It was that easy.
So I'm trying to word this so I'm not saying it's not mindset. It is 100% mindset. It's letting go. It's trying to not be in control. Like, like I'm not gonna be able to do this. Like, it's like you're because you can't control that you're going to do it. You're saying you're not going to begin with. All of it is like, it's people that like it. Once you start relaxing and just being fluid, like, okay, I'm gonna get the sale, whatever. If you didn't make that sale, you would just make another phone call.
Yeah, 100%.
But if you were in the mindset like, oh fuck, I'm not gonna do this. So after that one, like, see, yeah, I didn't do it. So yeah, yes, it is the mindset. Nothing I'm saying is saying it's not, but it's the ability to just to let go of what happens and just take the punches and go with it.
Yeah,
it's relaxing, going with the flow, and like knowing the direction you're going through and just saying, I'm going there, and not being resistant to the steps that you're taking to get there.
Because and I agree with the letting go part, but I want to clarify something, and this is just my take on it. Mm-hmm. You do whatever you want. You don't have to fucking agree with it. This is just my take on it.
We're not.
I agree with the letting go.
Yeah.
But the stigma of letting go in our society, and it's funny because when you think about it, it's like, you learned it from maybe your parents or your friends that you admire, so you accepted it as true and it became your truth. Everyone always puts letting go with, you want A. Let go, you're not going to get A, but you'll get B. Maybe.
Yeah.
Or just like you said in the end, no, you want A.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the path to get A. Straight line. Mm-hmm. So you go. Uh-oh, detour. Now, do I go to B, or do I just make a left, make a right, and make another right and a left to get to A? Mm-hmm. You let go, maybe it goes this way. And then you're like, no, I'm still getting A. And then God brings you back on the path. That's how I look at letting go. It could be both. I'm not saying it's not one or the other. If you want something in life, just because it's not here right now, don't fall into what I will call a trap of letting go to get something else. No, go after that.
Yeah.
Or let's say you don't want A anymore. Mm-hmm. You let go. Okay, B, C, D, or E, F.
Yeah.
If you want that, one of those will come to you. It's all what you want. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think you hit on it perfect. I think my point is with the letting go is, I'm glad you pointed out the point of like letting go, because you may not get it and you have to be okay with it. That's not the point of what I'm saying.
Yes.
But like in a sense, yes, there is an aspect of that. But the point is I'm going after this, and letting go means if you hit speed bumps, if you hit detours, if you hit resistance along the way, that doesn't make you upset and frustrated and mad.
Perfect.
You're letting go of what happens. Okay, that happened.
Perfect.
I'm going to adjust and overcome and continue moving forward.
Yeah, bro. Perfect.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
And like, so I have some business stuff going on right now. I talked to you offline, but with all the house stuff going on, and like I don't have. What's frustrating is the Dave Ramsey method versus the others. I don't have a set path of what makes the most sense moving forward. I have a bunch of different options, and I'm trying to figure out what makes the most sense for me. And like, I'm slowly chipping away at, okay, if I go this route, what makes sense for this route to make sense for me? And then I'm finding my thresholds. Okay, well, if it does this, okay, I'm good. But if not, then I have to pivot to a different one. So I'm trying to be fluid. And the only issue with that is because I don't have a specific direction, it makes it harder to know like which way to push forward to, right?
Yeah.
So like, there's a good aspect of being fluid, but it's almost to a detriment too. Granted, the path forward is pretty consistent. It just deviates towards the end.
Yeah.
But it can deviate at any point. It doesn't have to be at this point or that point. You know, like if you have stocks, right? You buy a stock. Okay. Well, if it starts to tank, well, don't sell it then. Wait until see what happens. Okay, it goes back up. Okay, maybe sell it then. Or maybe 10 years from now you sell it. Or 20 years from now. So you can always sell it at a different point.
Yeah.
So the deviation's always at different spots. But
hell yeah.
But it's the fluidity. It's like, okay, if, you know, it's like you're trying to build a huge portfolio of $1 billion, right? We'll just throw a random number out there. And you're along the way, the market crashes. Oh, fuck. Are you going to bail then and pull your money out? No, that's the worst time to pull your money out when the market crashes.
Yes.
Fucking ride the wave. Are you retiring? No. But as you get older into retirement, you get less risky because that's the standard procedure, what you do. Okay, that makes sense. But it's like if you just get upset because you didn't get to the path you're going, didn't get to where you want to go because there were speed bumps along the way, you're going to screw yourself over.
Thank you, bro. I'm so happy that you followed up what you said with that because it is so fucking true. It's the not getting angry. It's the not reacting, right? So, for example, to build off the example yesterday, that call happened around 2:30, but up until that point, right, I was making great contact rate, and it was odd. When people were telling me no, I was having, usually the no's you get around, because sales never take the first no, right? Whatever. Sometimes it's like a minute and a half, 2 minute conversation you're probing. Dude, I was having great conversations with people, and I was like, oh, this is probably going to be the deal. And then in the end, they would tell me shit, like I would finally get it out of them. Like one guy was like, yeah, no, this makes sense. He's like, let me think about it. And I was just like, dude, you have me on the phone right now? Yeah. Let's talk about it. It's not me versus you. It's us versus whatever it is you want to think about.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I may be closing the business. I'm thinking to myself in my mind, dude, you should have just fucking told me that from the beginning, right? But I didn't get angry. Yeah. I was just like, oh, okay, this isn't the one. Yeah. So I just kept going, and then it happened. Yeah. It wasn't angry.
But the thing is, if that guy's closing the business, why are you angry? He's the one that has to close his business.
Oh, no, dude.
But my point is you weren't. You're like, okay, cool. But like the whole point is someone may get frustrated. Oh, fuck, I'm not going to get this deal. Fuck this person. Like, dude, this guy may be closing his business. That's a tough decision to have. If you're going to be an asshole and be that selfish, because that's what it is. It's selfish. It's the same person that's swapping tags on their T-shirts. It's selfish. Mm-hmm. If you're going to be that selfish and getting upset because you can't close a deal on someone that's closing their business, you're an asshole.
Oh, 100%.
So like the fact that you were able to handle that conversation and just like, okay, cool, I'll deal with the next one. And I'm sure you didn't hang up the phone when the person said that. You finished the call.
No, I finished the call. And whenever I hear that, because I'll hear the dude, so I'll hear that more than you would expect.
I'm sure, especially in this market.
Oh, hell yeah. And I just go, hey, I wish you the best of luck.
Yeah.
And they're always
if for some reason you don't and things take off, here's my shit.
Oh, I tell them, save this number. It's direct line. Call me back. Whether they do or not, who cares?
Yeah.
But like, dude, it's like, that's just the thing is, and I understand because it's a pride thing, and I don't understand it from the view of an entrepreneur because I'm not an entrepreneur yet, right?
But, I mean, I guess kind of with this.
No, what this is entrepreneurial, right? No, this is creating, right? But I don't want to say that, and everyone's like, oh, you don't have your own fucking brick and mortar. All right, relax, dude.
You don't make. Here's the thing: is this is where I call. I had a conversation with someone. It's like you have a hobby job.
Yes,
they were a firefighter, but they had another business on the side. It's like you're. What puts food on your table is your firefighter career. This side business that you run does not put food on the table. It's a hobby job.
Yes.
Yeah, you may have a successful business, but this is if this folded, it wouldn't affect you.
No, it wouldn't.
Obviously, you would have some kind of effect, but it wouldn't. So, like this podcast, if this folded for whatever reason, it wouldn't affect you because it's not your. And that's the difference between an actual career and a hobby.
I intend on making this.
Yeah, of course.
Either the full time like Cam or like some other people, or allowed me to profit from it and allow you to profit from it. I intend that. When it gets there, we'll get there. But a good point is. I don't understand it from their point yet, but like I can understand how you wouldn't want to admit that. Mm-hmm. But it's like, dude, if you just told me that, like, hey, here's the reason why. I might be closing my business, dude. I'm not sure. It doesn't make. I would be like, oh yeah, dude. When people tell me that, I go, oh yeah, we don't. There's no conversation to be had. Doesn't make sense to even talk about this.
Take care of your shit. Yeah, that's it. Take care of what you need to. And if it changes, we're here.
We're here.
We're not going anywhere.
No. And actually,
we're not going anywhere. You might, but we aren't. Don't say that.
Don't say that.
That's really insulting.
No, for sure. And back to actually the entrepreneurial thing on this. Actually, remember that time that Mikey made a post when he was doing I forgot, like he was doing the thing where he was in his car talking about shit, like business wise. I didn't even know he was going to do this, but he was like, I just want to shout out like 5 people who are taking like steps in an entrepreneurial path.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool. Who's doing it? Like, I want to see like what they're building.
Yeah.
He mentioned the podcast.
Awesome.
This was like 2 years ago. And I thought to myself, I was like, that's very nice. But I was like, what am I doing? Is it entrepreneurial? Like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
You're doing something.
Well, we are doing it too now.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. You got anything else to add on what we're saying? Because we're at dude, our duos are hitting pretty good on an hour.
Yeah.
The hour is good.
We got that good rhythm.
We do.
Good rhythm. I think the takeaways from today is don't blindly follow anyone.
Yeah.
Take everything with a grain of salt.
Sure.
Roll with the punches.
Yeah, I like that.
Don't get emotional. Listen, that doesn't say that you're wrong for getting upset or mad or something.
I still have. I still do.
You're human. We're all human beings. It's okay. None of that's wrong. But like, take a second. Okay, you get upset with it. Okay, fucked up that sale. Shit. Okay, cool. Whatever. Time to move on. Absorb, process the emotion, and then move past it. Make the decision and move on.
Yeah.
The decision's made. Don't keep second guessing it. It doesn't matter anymore. If you made a decision, stick with it. You can't change that you made that decision. That's fine. You may have to pivot in the future. That's okay too. But don't get upset that you made that decision initially. Okay, things happen. All we can do is change the stuff moving forward. So, accept what's happened in the past. Granted, that's a lot to say, but accept the things where you got to now and figure out how you're going to change moving forward.
Yeah,
or what the path forward looks like. Keep the goals that you have in mind, and just understand that hard work doesn't always pay off the way you want it, but it pays off where it needs to take you.
Love that. I have nothing more to fucking add to that. Love that.
Yeah.
Great talk, folks. We know you enjoyed it. You got something from it, even if it was 1%. By the way, folks, we're keeping our duos to about an hour. Sometimes, most of the time, our episodes go over an hour. Let me tell you this. I had someone go, when do I have 3 hours to listen? When you're in the fucking car.
But you don't have to listen to it straight.
Straight, exactly.
I never listen to podcasts straight through.
No, it's right straight through. Listen to us in the car. Come on. Have our nice, beautiful voices coming out of your car speaker.
Yeah.
I love it. Beautifully said. Nothing to add to that. Episode 172. We'll see you next week.